Emily Richett, and you're watching Amplify.
I was 60 pounds overweight. I was always thinking about myself. I was wearing a sweatshirt. I wore the same sweatshirt every single day. And I wrote music with this friend of mine in high school. We were friends for 3 years. And for some reason, because I was only conscious of myself, I passed her every day in the halls. And every day I only thought about, what does she think of me? What do people think of me? I'm not going to be too encouraging to her because then she'll think I like her and all these things. And then one day I get a call that she had hung herself. And I just remember getting that call and just feeling like, what would it have taken for me to say to her that she would have actually thought of that moment when she was contemplating. And that for me was instead of trying to reach the masses, instead of trying to hit all these people, I wanted to stop for the one. That's when I focused on my health first. I knew that there was an issue there. And so once I got my health, I was able to attract the woman of my dreams, my beautiful wife. And I was still broke. And I realized that I had two of those things. It was like a mom who was picking up toys. And as you pick up more and more toys, one falls on the ground and you end up just keep dropping them. That's how I felt. And so for me, I noticed that if I couldn't get these things, these priorities in check, I was always going to fail. I saw that in my family's life. I saw that in my friend's life. And I didn't want to create that same thing. So I went out there, I did it for myself, and now we help tons of other men do it as well.
Yeah, and you're here at Funnel Hacking Live winning an award for your business. Tell us about how that feels to have gone from a place where you were making no money to a place now where you're speaking on stage and you're actually winning an award for this amazing business you built.
Yeah, so we were able to share the stage in front of these 5,000 funnel hackers and talk about how they turn their mess into their message. That's really where things changed for me. I remember 3 years into business, never generating more than $3,000 in a month, which is not good. I was working hard, I was trying hard. And I remember the first time I got to just share my message in front of 40 people. Anyone can reach 40 people. Video, YouTube, doesn't matter. And I remember sharing my story finally. I was having that moment where I said, I don't care what people think about me anymore. I'm just going to share my story. I talked about my dad and why I gained weight and all these different things. And I ended up bawling my eyes out. Didn't even get to talk about my product or service or anything. But what I saw was that we left that event and people connected with us. They knew, like, and trusted us and knew that I had felt the same way that they felt. And we ended up doing $22,000 that month. And then since then, we've never had a non-profitable month in 3 years since then. And so it's very interesting how everyone can actually share their authentic story, and the very thing that they think they're going to get rejected for, people connect with, because I believe that your biggest fear will always come before your biggest breakthrough.
And real quick, because I've heard that message, just this overarching message of you need to share your real self, not the self that you want people to believe. But that obviously is so hard for people. What's one little tip or tactic to help us kind of draw back the curtain?
So back in the day, if you were in a market, if you were in New York compared to Philadelphia, you had a local business that had to cater to the people in that surrounding area. So you had to make sure that you had something that fit the economic climate of that area. But now with social media, now being able to reach the world, you will connect with people if you're fake, because people will connect with that fake person, yet it'll drain you. Because whatever you do to get a client, whatever you do to get a following, you're going to have to keep up. So nowadays, if you actually just be yourself, there's just as many people out there that will connect with that person, except for it's easy for you to do because you're just being yourself. You could attract them by being yourself. How do you keep them? By being yourself. And so just shedding that light, knowing that, wow, there's just as many people that will follow the fake me. The only problem is that it's going to affect me. And I'm going to burn out. I'm going to feel drained. And deep down inside, I'm going to feel inauthentic. So I just thought, if I just be myself and I do what's right. When I was 18 years old, this quote people can live by, the one thing. I'd rather do what I know is right and fail than do what I already know is wrong and succeed. If I do what I already know is wrong and make lots of money, I've already had ultimate failure. That is ultimate failure to me. Instead of doing what I know is right and being willing to fail doing that.
Love that. Where can people go to learn more about you and your business that you run with your wife, Amanda?
So my favorite thing is Instagram. Nicholas Bayerle on Instagram. I love connecting because it really showcases, again, the authentic lifestyle. Of course, my website, Billion Dollar Body, looks amazing. It's amazing. There's so many resources, so many blogs, so many podcasts, but really you get to see my day-to-day life where I'm turning my mess into my message daily.